Hey everybody, Jonah from Britical Saiyans here, and today I'm going to be going through the Android 21 deck profile. So, this was the one I was most excited to do out of set 8, and I did try playing around with 18 as the leader, but it didn't work out too well, so here we've just gone 21. So, to start with, 21's autos, when it's placed into the leader area, you can activate the field 21 scheme immediately. So kind of like Cooler in set 2, it's a leader that just has the field automatically. I'll go into the fields in a second once we've gone through the leader. So its active main is once per turn you choose one clone token in your opponent's battle area and remove it from the game. You draw one, then choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards an edge cost of 1 and return it to their hand. Then, at the start of your opponent's next main phase, choose up to one blue-green energy multicolored card in your energy and switch it to active mode. So you untap a multicolored card going into their turn, which is really useful. It means you can tap yourself out and come back on 1. And because we're blue, it means we could place stuff like Sensitive Beam to keep untapping during their turn. And then its Awaken is when you're on 4 less, you draw 2 and flip it over. So it goes into 21 Malevolence Unbound. Its active main is exactly the same on this side. So again, you choose clone token, remove it, draw a card, bounce a 1-drop. Well, you can bounce a 1-drop, and then you get a multicolored energy at the start of your next turn. Well, start of your opponent's turn. So it doesn't change either side except for the power boost, obviously, but it just means that you can keep untapping and you still have a way to draw once per turn, so you don't really lose out on that. So as for the field, 21 scheme, it's normally a 4 cost with 3 of the cost being blue, but obviously our leader plays it out, so I don't know why you'd run it in any other deck besides this or 18 that plays it automatically. It just seems kind of counterproductive to wait for it to come out. So it has 3 autos. So its first one is once per turn, when you or your opponent play a non-token battle card, it can't attack for the duration of the turn. So the first thing you play gets Summoning Sickness, as it's called. Its secondary auto is when you play a black battle card, place it in the owner's drop area. So obviously you can't, well, there's no point to doing things like overrun that lot because you just automatically lose anyway. I guess if you just want to trigger this first auto, it's a good way to do that. And then its final auto is at the start of your opponent's main phase, place 2 clone tokens with 10k power in your opponent's battle area. A clone token doesn't actually look like this. It's one I did myself in Arts and Crafts, as one could mock it. So a clone token is just a little blob with 10k power that you use for your abilities and your opponent can use to attack you with. And yeah, I just put a ditto on my one because why not? So anyway, obviously this is very important to the deck because of effects, so you gotta keep an eye on how many tokens you're giving your opponent. And to start with, going into the main deck, we'll start with EX cards. So we have a single copy of the Absolute Release Ball. This is a new counterplay that came in with the set. So it's counterplay: if your leader is blue and your life is at 4 or less, if the battle card being played has an edge cost of 3 or less, it's returned to the owner's hand instead of being played. Then choose one of your blue energy and switch to active mode. So you bounce something back when you're on 4 or less, so in most cases when you're awakened, and then you get your energy back for playing it out. The permanent on this card is if you have a multicolored card in your energy and your life is at 4 or less, you can activate this card's counter skill by choosing a card in your life and add to your hand instead of paying the energy. So kind of like the negates from set 3, or no, not. Yeah, I think it might be set 3. I don't know. So like whenever they brought in like Dimension Magic, Time Magic and all that, you can use your life to pay for the cost instead of actually using energy, which can be helpful, but we only run the one because there's other ways to get rid of stuff, so it's just there if you need it.
5.
Set 5. That was close.
Just look to the one I got here.
Yeah.
Well, that's when this one was brought in.
Yeah.
So I presume it's the same.
Probably. I mean, yeah, except for I literally have Dimension Magic in my hand. I didn't even check it.
Oh, you're just a fanny then.
Yeah. It's fine. We're British. That's a normal thing to say to people. Anyway, so next we've got one copy of All Too Easy. So this is counter attack for leads of blue. Negate the attack, then choose one of your opponent's battle cards with an edge cost of 1 and return it to your hand. So again, just a way to bounce 1-drops. You can use this from your drop area by paying its energy cost and removing itself and a blue card from the game. Well, blue card in your hand from the game. And it's auto states you can only use it once per turn, so you can't just play it the first time, then play it second time from drop. But it's just there as a one-off because it kind of counts as 2 negates. So you don't need to run multiple really. Next we got 2 copies of Dimension Magic. So again, counter attack, negate the attack, then choose 2 of your blue energy and switch them to active. And its permanent is Sparking 5. You can activate its counter skill by taking a card from your life instead of paying the energy cost. So obviously really good because we're blue leader, and the untap just helpful. So no real downsides to this negate besides potentially taking a life. Next we've got 3 copies of Sensu Bean. One of which is my champion final, but whatever. When we went to Euros final, so and yeah, Sensu Bean. Yeah, you've used your special on some of the Magnificent Collection.
Well, they're the ones I just grabbed at the time.
Yeah.
I think it might have come out of the Broly deck.
So yeah, Sense Bean is active battle. Choose one of your cards. It gains 5k power for the duration of turn. Then choose up to your energy and switch to active mode. So it's just in there to carry on plays and gain power. Nothing else to it really. It's Sense Bean. Next we got 1 copy of the Speedy Surprise Attack. So this is a green counter because we're a blue-green deck, and so it negates the attack. Then if your leader is Android, which it is because it's Android 21, you can choose cards from your hand and place it in the drop. If so, you choose one of your opponent's battle cards and energy cost to feel less and KO it. So it's a nice little way to just pop something on the board, and we can play it because it's not locked down by being green. So. And finally for the X cards, we have 1 copy of the free cost Infinite Energy. So it has the energy exhaust because it's multicoloured. And its active main is you draw 1, then choose one of your multicoloured battle cards and place it in your energy and rest mode. You can't play battle cards with power between 30k and 35k for the duration of the game. And at the start of your opponent's main phase, choose one of your multicoloured energy and switch to active. So I've not actually played this in the time I've played the deck, but it's just really useful because it's multicoloured. The power blocking doesn't really affect the deck, and getting an energy back is always good. Plus you're ramping, and that's what this deck does. Because I wanted to play ramp and not good omen meta. So anyway.
Not sure if that was a stab at me or not.
What? No. I've already explained, so like this thing is what people basically just play with 21. It's just like 4 of this in the energy, slap it out, kill your opponent. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to have fun with the deck. So
that right, yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to have fun with 21. Take that as you will. So yeah, going into the battle cards now. And to start with, we've got 3 copies of Android 18 Speedy Substitution. So this is our searcher for deck, because its first auto is when you play this card, you look at 5 from the top of your deck, choose up to 1 blue or green Android card among them, add it to your hand and shuffle. So yeah, top 5 you get an Android, which is pretty good, and you get 2 colours. And then its secondary auto is when you play this card, you activate the skill. At the end of the turn, you may choose 1 blue or green multicolored card in your energy and return it to your hand. If you do, choose 1 card in your hand and place it into your energy in rest mode. So this is a way to like kind of utilise putting things in and out your energy, which you can't need for the deck because of, well, we got the big 8 drop. So, and it means that you could put a multicoloured in and activate your like 17s a lot quicker, or just keep recycling the same 17 like I used to do until I actually managed to draw all of them. And next we've got 2 copies of Android 21 the Ringleader. So it's also when you if you lead, well, I was going to say when you play this card. Oh yeah, it does that. So if you lead card as an Android, when you play this card, you draw 1, then at the end of your opponent's next turn, you place a clone token in their battle area. So it's another way to put tokens out. And its active means once per turn. If you lead card as an Android, you can play a blue and a green energy to get an Android 21 scheme from your drop area and activate it. So it's just there in case your opponent pops the field, because you need that safety net, especially since the field is kind of running your deck and all your abilities. So, and like 2 just means you can see it easily. The next cards are basically the same. We have a one-off Burnished Bonds Burgos and a one-off Urgent Aid Kami. They are literally the same card, it's just one's blue, one's green. So when you play them, you draw a card, and then once per turn during your opponent's turn, if your opponent switches energy to active mode using a non-awakened skill, you choose up to one of your opponent's energy and place it in their drop. So, like I said, they're exactly the same card, it's just one's blue and one's green. So it's just a bit of synergy. And then finally in the 1-drops, we've got 2 copies of Master Roshi Masterly Majesty.
Zero personal attack.
Yep, so it's something I wanted to put into the deck because it's autos. You choose one multicolored card in your energy and return it to the owner's hand. So when you combo with this card, you then choose a card in your hand and place it in the energy in rest mode. So again, it's another way to get cards out of the energy because we kind of want to keep this in the energy until we can play it. And it means we can swap our energy file in and out constantly if we need to.
Where's my recommendation?
What?
I pointed it out to you.
Yeah. Okay. So it was my personal take that Matt recommended. Apparently, it's both things. Love everybody. So yeah, it was just. It seemed like Matt suggested it because it was a case of like I wanted to play the 8-drop 21. But the easiest thing to do is put in the energy and then try and get it out with 18. And he was like, well, you could just combo this and do that. So it gave me 5 cards to do it with. And I was like, yeah, may as well. Plus it's blue, so it can go towards like a rifle. So next we got 2-drops, which make up a good bulk of the deck.
Your extra cards for 9 cards I counted.
Yeah, about 9 plus the field. Does count towards it, so.
Yeah, but it's not in the main deck, is it, technically?
No, but you have to count it.
Well, yeah, to make up the 50.
Yeah. So, start with, we've got 2 copies of Android 16 Energy Amplification. So, it's a blue-green, so it will have energy exhaust. And its auto is, if you have a blue-green multicolored card in your energy, when you play this card from your hand, you place the top card of your deck in the energy, and you can't play battle cards with 30k and 35k power for the duration of the game. Oh no. We don't have any of that, so we're fine. And again, it's just ramp. So, next we have 4 copies of Android 17 Protector of Wildlife. So, this is our energy follower card because its opponent is if you have a blue-green multicolored card in your energy, you can negate this card's energy exhaust skills in all areas. So that just means you can charge it without it being in rest, as long as you have another blue-green card. And its auto is once per turn, when your opponent combos, choose it to one of those cards and place it at the bottom of the opponent's deck. then negate the skill for the duration of the game. So it does have a good auto if you decide to bring it out, because it's like combo disruption, which is always good. But mostly it's in there just to be charged because of its skill. So it means you're not down for a turn. Our super combo is 4 copies of Maleficent Technique Ginyu, because it came in the set. And it's just, if your lead is blue and you're on 4 less, you combo and draw a card. It's a super combo. I'm not going into great depths. It's literally just what came in the set and what came in the deck. So I was like, yeah, I'll just use it. I don't need a specific one. So, and next we got a singular copy of Son Goku in Close Quarters. So he has a combo cost of 2 and gives 5k, but that's because of his auto. So when you play or combo with this card, if there's a multicolored card in your energy, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with barrier, and energy cost of 3 or less, ignoring barrier, and KO it. So you can pop a 3 or less with barrier, basically. And it costs 2 to combo and do that, or you pay 2 green to bring them out and do the same thing. So, and it's just there as a one-off in case we need to pop something, and it's another green card. So, and our final 2 drops, they're both 2 and 2. So we've got Supreme Technique Gohan and Supreme Technique Vegeta. So these 2 cards are quite similar. They both have 10k, they both cost 2, and their active main are both also once per turn. You choose a clone token, remove it from the game. They both gain 10k when you do this. However, Gohan gains critical and Vegeta gains double strike, which I kind of thought Vegeta would gain critical, considering a lot of Vegeta stuff used to gain critical, but meh. So yeah, Vegeta can gain double strike, Gohan can gain crit, so it's just a bit of pressure and token removal, which is always helpful. So going into the 3 drops now, we've got 2 copies of Android 21, A Brilliant Idea. So its auto is when you play this card, activate this skill. At the end of your opponent's next turn, you place 2 clone tokens in their battle area. So it does specify how much power they have, but all clone tokens have 10k. And it's just like another way to generate tokens and gain the body on the board. And this also helps with the skills. So it's active main once per turn. You remove a clone token from the game, and then you get to activate one of the following. So you can either choose one of your opponent's battle cards and KO it, or you can choose your leader or one of your battle cards and it gains 10k in the crit for the turn. So you can either just pop something or make something a pressure unit, which is always helpful. Next we have a singular copy of Son Goku Prideful Hero. So this guy has the heroic skill, so when you play something else that's heroic, whether it's battle card or X card, you draw a card and then negate that skill for the turn. We don't have any other heroic cards in here, so it has it has an active main, which is, I was going to say 2 active mains, but it doesn't have 2. So its active main is you can choose 3 clone tokens in your opponent's battle area, remove from the game, and play this from your hand. So you can play it for free as long as they've got 3 tokens. And its active battle is you play 2 blue and 2 of any other energy. Then you choose any number of battle cards in your energy and combo with them during this card's battle, and it gains triple strike for the duration of the battle. So this is very much like a end game card. If you've just ramped a lot and you can't really kill them any other way, you're just like, well, bugger it, swing, pay the 4, combo everything, and it's triple strike, so you'll probably kill them. And it's just there as a one-off in case we do need to do that. Any more and then we're kind of dedicating to it, which isn't the idea. So, and finally in 3 drops we got 2 copies of Vegeta the Cruel. So counterplay, you can play him out. If you have a multi-card card in your energy, reduce its cost by 1. And its auto is when you play this card during your opponent's turn, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with an edge cost of 4 less, KO it. Then your opponent chooses one card in their hand and sends it to the warp. So there's another body. It's another green card for us we can combo straight off or attack with if we choose, and it just gets rid of something from the opponent. So quite a few pluses. Oh, it's still got quite a while to go. So moving into the 4-drops now, we've got a single copy of Android 21 Destructive Villain. So this has the villainous skill of when you play another villainous card, your opponent chooses a card from their hand, place it in the drop, and then that negates for the turn. And its auto is you choose one card from your energy and place it in the drop. When you play this card, choose all of your opponent's back cards with an edge cost of 4 less, and place them on the bottom of the owner's deck in any order. So it's just a board clearer, basically. You do lose an energy, but if you need to clear their board, it's kind of worth it. So, and we're ramping, so we can kind of dispense with one. Next we have 2 copies of Maleficent Technique Freezer. So this has the active main of you can choose to clone tokens to your opponent's end area, remove them, play this card from your hand. So it becomes a free cost. Well, you can play it for free. And then its auto is when you play this card, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with an edge cost of 3 or less and return to the owner's hand. So you remove tokens and the card from their battle area, and then you can either get around the summoning sickness by having Freezer take it, or you just get another attacker on the board. So not really many downsides to him. And then finally in the 4-drops we have 3 copies of Supreme Technique Son Goku. So he's 4-drop 20k, he has blocker, he has a rival for blue-green by paying blue, he has energy exhaust obviously, and his auto is you choose to clone tokens your opponent's battle area and remove from the game. When you play this card, your opponent chooses a card from their hand and place it in the drop. So obviously because it's a rival, it means you can just combo him out. So you just get rid of the blue to green, pay the 1, play him out, and then you can remove 2 tokens to make them dump a card, and then you've got a blocker for a turn. So it's pretty good. Going into the 5-drops now, we only have the 2, which is 2 copies of Android 21 A Bad Omen. So obviously energy exhaust. Its active main is you can pay 2 blue and 2 green to place from your energy. And then its auto is you choose a card from your energy and place it in your drop. When you play this card, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards and up to 1 card in your opponent's life and place them in the drop. So it is a way to kill your opponent from 1 or just weaken them. You can get rid of a battle card. That's one that came in the deck, so you get 2 in the deck. But a lot of people tend to just rely on this instead of like anything else from the set. But yeah, I just take it 2 because it's really good. And finally we're into the 8-drops. So to start with, we have 2 copies of our supposed endgame, which is Android 21 Violent Predator. So it's 25k power, has triple attack, deflect, energy exhaust, and its auto is when you play this card from your hand, choose all of your opponent's non-multicolored energy and battle cards ignoring barrier, negate their skills, and then return to their owner's decks. All players who had cards return to their decks, shuffle their decks. So unlike most things where you try and get rid of multicolored, this gets rid of monocolours, which could mean that your opponent has like next to nothing on board. And because it's a 25 that can attack 3 times, it means it's pretty good. Because obviously, if you've hit them hard enough, that's probably going to kill them. It does cost 8, but that's why you have so much ramp, and you can bounce, like you can pull it in to begin with, and then just bounce it back using 18 or Roshi. So yeah, I thought it was pretty fun and decided to give it a go. And finally, what ends up being the end game is our single copy of Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta Peak of Primitive Power, which is one of the secret rares from this set. So, he's 40k power, has ultimate because he's a secret. It's survival blue-green by playing 3 blue and 2 green. Has energy exhaust. And its auto is when you play this card, you choose one of the following depending on when you play it. So, if it's your turn, he gains double strike, critical, and triple attack for the turn. If it's your opponent's turn, you choose one of your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier, and place it in the drop. Then you add up to 2 cards from the top of your deck into your energy. So you can either ramp with it, or the more popular thing and kind of better thing to do is to just bring out during your turn and kill your opponent. So, and because I pulled one, I'm using it, because why not? It's not restricted by anything that's like 30k or 35k, because it's above that. So, be safe. So, that is my 21 deck profile. Thanks for watching. I know it's been a bit of a long one, but there's a lot of new cards to explain. So, do leave your thoughts in the comments. It's always nice to read them. And we'll see you next time. Bye.